Andre, I love this immediate connection to the power and the importance of listening when it comes to leadership. Um, but I also like that you spoke to maybe a balance that you have to find when you move up the ranks and have more experience, subject matter expertise. Talk to us about the balance as you move up that leadership sort of hierarchy in terms of how do you bring that listening and maybe even scale that listening, but also bring the subject matter expertise and that experience that you have in influencing toward, the direction that you're trying to head.
Joe, that's a difficult one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Inherently, most leaders that have had individual success, we find ourselves trying to either clone ourselves
Yeah.
or micromanage the process just on a bigger scale as we move into various areas of leadership. I think the biggest lesson for me that I've learned along the way is to um, leverage my subject matter expertise around the process and understanding the field or the industry that I'm in, but
Hmm.
also recognizing I want to hire smarter people than
Yeah.
me to
Yeah.
support some of these initiatives and let them fly. But I should have enough knowledge to recognize what good looks like.
Hmm.
So that I'm not completely reliant on the word of others, and I can trust but verify, and then I can be still. I can
Yeah.
allow them to do the great things that they have the ability to do. I don't constrain them by my notion or pathway to success.
Hmm.
Um, and then, most importantly, the other thing I like, you didn't necessarily ask this particular question, but I love assembling teams of a bunch of subject matter experts, right?
Yeah.
And I like to call it the A team effect. If anybody remembers the A team, somebody
Hmm.
drove the truck, somebody did explosives, somebody flew a helicopter,
That's right.
super friends, Avengers, whichever, team analogy you want to use. But what I love is bringing together people with different skills that will
Hmm.
bring about a greater execution, a greater performance or greater outcome,
Hmm.
and knowing that I can trust that they're able to bring that to the table, and I will just oversee the process,
And
and make sure that everything goes as planned. And of course, recognizing those talents along the way is a big part of that culture, and keeping people to bring their best to the table.
that's great.